when you're playing this or the Impera, there's a rule about major and minor, which is that if you're playing a row, all the notes, if you play the rows to the left of this, it's going to sound minor. And whether in series or parallel. But if I do the same, everything to the right will sound major. So, and that's melodically too. So it's going to say the right hand is going to come out sounding major by default because the index finger is and the thumb are on this side, are to the left, so it's going to tend to sound major everything they do. And this hand, the left hand, because the index and the thumb are on the right, everything it does is going to tend to sound minor. So between the two, this is the happy hand and this is the sad hand, happy, sad. And between them, here's the minor chord. And here's the major chord, which is a lot easier to play with the right hand. And the minor with the left. So I can play the major, a lot of, the scale too. The minor scale is better descending and it comes out. Or that's the natural. Then the other kind of minor is. So you can see that it's mostly to the left. So basically, if I stick to mostly to the left when playing a scale, which is easy to do with this hand, and with this hand, it's going to go. It's just naturally going to be scales that are major and scales that are minor. Plus your stereo is split like this, so this is in one channel and this is the other. So if you do things like, it's going to be split in the stereo channels. Now, the most important thing is your thumb, your middle finger, and your thumb, your index finger, and your little finger, because they can form the triads that are super important. So. See, this is just using my thumb, my index, and my little finger. You can see how now I'm going to use my middle finger too. It takes practice, but develop the thumbs as the melody note, as what controls the melody note. And then the fingers provide the lower accompanying notes. And so when you're playing, you can get this wonderful ability to do chords. Now all these chords are variations close to the major chord for the right and variations close to the minor chord to the left. Now my right hand is going, and my left. One of the things you can do is you can do a thing called polysequences, where you do different numbers of notes with either hand. So you could do them together, like you do 4, say, with this hand and go, say, and with this hand you'd do 3, let's say, and go. And you could do this together and go. And you go, or excuse me. Because this is isomorphic, I can move this sequence around as is, and I can play, the same thing without changing the shape, except for stretching it a little as it gets lower. Now that's an example of where I'm moving together. The two hands are moving together, but here's what happens if they alternate. And meanwhile, one hand is only doing the simplest thing, so that's what the polysequence is good for. If I just do 3 notes here and I do 4 here and I alternate or work together, it makes a much more complicated phrase. Let's say I was to do 5 notes here and 3 notes here and go. And this hand was going to go, which is 5. I'll change this to a lower note. So. So all these complex phrases are coming out of this thing. And the other thing is polytempos, that is hitting these at different tempos at the same time. So for example, if I go together, right, left, together, right, left, together, then it turns out that this side is hitting faster than this. So now let's say I do that. And then I go through 3 notes with both hands. So I'm going to go. All this is me going 3 times with this hand. Let's say I do something else like 5 times with this hand and 3 with this, which is, let's see, it's a, anyway, you get the idea.